Hello everybody. So what you guys are going to be looking at is doing limits of rational functions. So what makes a limit of a rational function? So something that's rational is something that can be written as a fraction. So a rational function is something that's written as a fraction. Okay. The beginning technique that you guys start with when you wanted to know what the limit as x goes to 5 is called direct substitution. You take the number and you just fill it in. Okay. So that's 5 plus 3 over 5 minus 2, so that's 8 over 3. That's it. You're done. There's nothing else to do. Now, that's not what this assignment is going to be this simple, but that's what you do. Here, if you fill it in, you get 5 minus 5 over 5 minus 2, so you get 0 over 3, which is 0. That's your limit. Your limit is 0. This is what it's going to be more like. Take this, fill it in, and you get 5 minus 2 over 5 minus 5, which is 3 over 0. You can't divide by 0. So it does not exist. So D and E. Does not exist is what you write for the answer. Okay? You'd have to, that is as far as you will take it for this assignment. If it was to be thorough and do everything about it, is you'd have to put this in your calculator and look at it. And as an example, look at your table and see if your table's converging. Now the reason it's not going to converge here is because that's creating a vertical asymptote. And that would be the discontinuity that your graph is either going to do this, and at 5, get a vertical asymptote, or it's going to look, where they're going in opposite directions. Okay, but either way, at this vertical asymptote, it's not going to have a limit. So, it does not exist. This is what your assignment will look like. So, don't panic. It's going to be pretty straightforward. What you first have to do, and you can assume that direct substitution is going to work for none of these. If you want, we can go ahead and do it. So that would be fill in negative 4. So you'd have 16 minus 16 over 16 minus 8 minus 8. So you're going to get 0 over 0. 0 over 0 is called the indeterminate form, meaning it doesn't determine anything. Okay? So direct substitution, you can assume, is going to give you this indeterminate form for all of them. You don't need to check that. So what you do is that you factor. There's an x in common. So I'm just going to pull the x out. This, when the leading coefficient is 1, remember it's what multiplies to this number adds to this one. So what multiplies to negative 8 but adds to 2. 4 and negative 2. Notice this is going to cancel. That's the problem. That's what's created the indeterminate form of 0 over 0. It's a hole. It's a hole in the graph. It's a discontinuity. I'm going to remove that discontinuity. And now reevaluate the limit, ignoring that discontinuity at negative 4. So fill in the negative 4. So you have negative 4 over negative 6, so that goes positive, so 2/3. So in effect, what this is that's the x value of the hole, that's the y value of the hole. Okay. Take a quick little drink. So that's all you have to do. It's factor, let this stuff cancel, and you can assume something cancels. So if nothing's canceling, you're not factoring correctly. So what multiplies to negative 12 and adds to 1? What multiplies to negative 12 and adds to 1? So x plus 4, x minus 3, over what multiplies to negative 3 and adds to negative 2? So x minus 3, x plus 1. There you go. This is going to cancel. So you're left with taking the limit as x goes to 3 of x plus 4 over x plus 1. Now do direct substitution, and you get 3 plus 4 over 3 plus 1. So you get 7 over 4. That's your answer. You finished. The limit is 7/4. Okay. Trying it on this one. The limit as you go to -1. Again, assume direct substitution isn't going to work. So what multiplies to -5 and adds to 4? So that would be x plus 4, x minus 1. All right. No, no, no. So if I found it, it's not a mistake, right? So x minus x plus 5. Okay, that's a little better. That's a difference in squares, so x minus 1, x plus 1. This can cancel out. So we have x plus 5, x plus 1. Now he's taking the limit. Oops. Eraser. I might as well erase that since I went too far with it. The limit as x goes to -1. When I fill in -1, notice it's still not going to work. So I've got 4 over 0. That's undefined. Okay, so you'd write does not exist. Okay. I think that's all I need to have you guys do. That's all you need to see. Remember, you're going to factor, then do direct substitution, because you can make the assumption, I know you're not supposed to assume, but make the assumption that you will get the indeterminate form if you do direct substitution right away. If something isn't canceling, know that you've done the factoring wrong. Thank you for your time, and have a great one. Hope to see you in office